Do you want to know how people make money every time someone makes a payment at a business? I'm breaking down step by step, week by week, how you can make at least $3,000 per month in 90 days. Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is the Profit from Payments podcast, the show that breaks down how to start and grow your own payment processing business so you can build passive residual income every single month. I'm Michael Gibrael, your host, and over the last 15 years, I've built a 7-figure passive income business in payment processing from scratch. Now I'm here to share the strategies, insights, and real-world knowledge to help you do the same. For more tips, resources, and exclusive insights, join the free community. You'll find the link in the show notes. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the episode. All right, let's break it down. What is residual income in payment processing? So I'm gonna make it very simple for you. I don't like getting into the weeds too much, but to make it very simplified, businesses pay a fee every time they accept cards. So whether that's tapping, inserting, paying online, whatever the case, businesses pay a fee in order for them to accept. It's a convenience. So you have to partner with a processor. Think about it as kind of like you become a reseller, almost like an agent of that processor. So then you do a rev share, and every time someone makes a payment, which means using their card, whether it's shopping online or pay at a store or whatever, you get a piece of that as long as you set up that business. So to accept payments. And that is a small percentage fee that adds up every single month. So for example, let's say a business does $50,000 a month. You might earn anywhere from, $250 up to $1,000 every single month forever, as long as that business is processing with you or is your account, if you want to break it down. I wanted to give you that really high level on how that works, just so you have an understanding. But now I'm going to break it down in terms of a 90-day roadmap. So I'm going to start week for week and what you need to do in order for you to be able to reach that milestone and start making truly like a true passive income with payment processing. So the first week to 2, you need to set the foundation. And what I mean by that is learn the basics of how credit card processing works. Because bare minimum, you need to know the basics, how it works, kind of like, almost have an idea of what type of business it is. You can't just go into it blindfolded, even though you can learn. But it's not going to hurt you to get the bare minimum, which is the basics, right? So that's the first thing you need to do. So again, week 1 to 2, learn the basics about how credit card processing really works, okay? Another thing that you do within that first to 2 weeks is pick your ISO, pick your processing partner who you're going to submit these merchants to once you develop that, the relationship and you're closing deals, because you have to have that in order for you to make money, right? The next step is set up your LLC, obviously either LLC, Inc., consult with your attorney or bookkeeper, CPA, which one fits best for you. And then also, once you have that set up, make sure you set up a business bank account, because that's how you're going to get paid. This is how the processor is going to deposit money in your account, unless of course you want checks mailed to you, which I don't even think they would do that. But anyways, the next step is you want to go through your phone book and you want to identify who can help you reach, who can potentially help you, or businesses that you know. So usually what I did was I go through my phone and I look at every contact. You know how the phone, it's alphabetical on the side? I don't know. I have an iPhone, so every contact, whatever in your phone, it looks different. But on mine, it's alphabetical. I start from the top. I literally leave nothing. I don't leave a single stone unturned. So I'll go from A all the way to Z. So the questions I ask on every contact that I see, I click on them because sometimes I put notes, who this contact is, or I will have what company they work for, who they are, because obviously we have so many contacts on our phones, you're not going to know everybody. But either way, I'm sure, once you see the name, you'll have an idea why they're in your contact book or on your phone. So the questions I ask myself every time I look at that contact is, one, does this person own a business? If they don't, I go to the next step. Is this person well connected? Maybe they can, introduce me to businesses they know, because that's a big deal. If they can this is how I started. My father-in-law, I went through 100 people that he knew, and they respected him very, very well. I went through that book, 100 contacts, and I went one by one, and I had a 75% closing ratio. That's insane, right? So again, first question, does this person own a business? Does this contact own a business? Question two, if they don't own a business, go to second question. Do they know anyone? Do they know business owners that they can introduce me to? Obviously, if it's a trusted person. The third question I ask is kind of similar to the second one, but if they do own a business, what type of business? Is it a business that is in, maybe they're a bookkeeper or a CPA that can potentially refer me business? Because your partnerships are, that's where it's at. That's who you're going to be able to set up, where merchants come to you and leads continuously on your flow. So that's what I would ask is like, okay, the type of business they own, is it an actual, do they just own a business? Maybe I can help them, provide value and stuff like that. Are they a CPA, web developer, or they are in the B2B space? Do they have access to merchants? Because if they have a book of business, there is your opportunity. That's like gold, okay? So those are the three questions. If yes, first one, then you go to the third one. And if it's, no on the first question, you go to the second question. So those are the questions I ask myself when I look at my contact list. And if they are, write them down on the side, take notes, create an Excel sheet. Don't overcomplicate things. Just do something that you're able to do and do it quickly, that you have access to. Because the more things you're gonna tack on and be like, oh, I gotta get this perfect, I gotta do, all of that, you're not gonna get there. So you are going to write them down, create a spreadsheet, and then that way you can kind of keep track of notes and who you're contacting and what they said and all of that stuff, because this is going to be your target list. This is who you're going to go after. Remember the list that I had a target list of 100 people that I went after. So it is vital for you to keep it very organized, because this is the beginning of your journey. This could potentially make you or break you, because if you don't nurture this list very good, these are your contacts, this is within your network, then you're gonna have to go on the cold approach, and that, my friend, isn't where it's at. That I can tell you, okay? Because the last thing you wanna do is door-to-door knocking, because I personally, when I get calls or somebody coming, I'm not interested. I don't know you. I don't know your product. You're just like everybody else trying to sell. That's the worst thing you can do. But you can still do it and be very successful. I know a lot of people that have done it, but this is the way to do this. This is kind of the blueprint that I'm giving you. So have that list, put it on Google Sheets, and just go through one by one, and just visit them, go there person, talk to them, call them, tell them I'm coming and visiting, let's talk, build a relationship, provide value, be a connector. So once you have that list, we're gonna go into now week 3 to 4. So week 1 to 2 we already just covered. Week 3 to 4, your goal here is to close your first deal, is to bring on an actual merchant that's gonna say, yes, I'm interested, you've provided me enough value, you listen to me, you understand me, and I'm going to sign up with you, okay? So this is where you're approaching your network with value. Do not be salesy, because if you're salesy, people will smell it, people will know it. Even if these guys are in your contacts, trust me, they've been there. It's not the first time, even though this may be the first time you're hearing about merchant services or credit card processing, it's not the first time for them. So keep that in mind. It's not a new invention by no means, okay? So what you want to do here is maybe, I hate leading with saving money, because if you live by price, you die by price. Again, you want to provide value. What do I mean by that? Well, when you're talking to somebody, instead of just saying, hey, I can save you money, would you like to come with me? You want to hear them out. You want to understand their pain points. You want to ask questions, talk less, listen more, be a listener, build that relationship, even though you already have that relationship, but maybe not at a business level. So you want to build a relationship for them to view you as an expert, for them to be comfortable talking to you about their payment processing problems or not. Maybe they're happy. Find out, why are they happy? take those pointers and maybe you're bringing that into your toolbox. But everybody has a problem. There is not a single person on planet Earth that is problem free, right? Let alone a service provider that you're dealing with. Nothing comes perfect, okay? So when you're dealing with your network and you're talking to them, you want to ask them questions like, how's business? Just have a conversation, very genuine conversation. How's business? What are the things that you're doing to grow your business? Who's your payment provider? How do you like them? Why do you not like them? Once you start asking open-ended questions, you'll go in very deep conversation. Now, here's one of my favorite parts. My thing that stood out the most is I was able to give my merchants or my leads on the network I went after VIP service, or better so, VIP experience, because this industry is highly underserved. Competitive, yes, but highly underserved because everybody that's in it doesn't service their clients the right way. So what does that mean to you? That's a big opportunity for you to make a change in how they view payment processing companies or payment processing agents. You want to give them that amazing experience, because what's going to happen after you sign them up, they're gonna want to refer you business. You're gonna ask for referrals and they're gonna give them to you with no problem because you gave them that great experience. They'll talk about you at dinner tables. They'll talk about you when they're out with their friends. And guess what? They're in business. What do you think their friends are? They're also in business. Most likely they're in business as well. So the word spreads very fast because it's an underserved space. It's an underserved industry. So that is a huge opportunity for you to get in, work with them, and then show them why you are different, because that is what they want. So again, the week 3 to 4, your main goal is to close your first deal, give them value, listen to them, and provide them with an amazing experience, because that's going to allow you to unlock the opportunity for you to ask for referrals. Or you might just get referrals because you've given them such an amazing, hospitable VIP experience. Now, your week 5 to 8, ready for this? You're going to have to start posting online. Yes, I know you might not like it. You may not be a fan of it. You're watching this video and I'm doing content. To be honest, content is king. Content is truly king. The more content you make and being consistent, that's the key word. Be consistent. Talk about what you're learning. Honestly, just your journey, because that is what people want to see. Share your story, share your results, client wins. Do case studies with clients that you've delighted, clients that you've absolutely hit a home run with. And I'm not talking about how much money you're making from them. It's about how amazing of an experience you've given them. Because if you can give them an amazing experience, again, they're willing to do things for you because they haven't experienced that. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to almost do an interview style with that merchant. And now it's localized. Now you're having the merchant like introduce themselves and say who they are, what their business name is, where they're located. And then you get right into it. How do you like working with me, John? Oh my gosh, you're great. You're fast. You're always answering my calls. You see that? That all comes from the experience. Then you ask them, how was it switching over to me? What is the difference between what you were doing before and what you're at now? Well, before my guy was, charging me so much, for example. I was unhappy every time I called them. They were not answering. They gave me an 800 number that I was on the phone and waited 3 hours. These are all things that people are going to watch and be like, whoa, I need to sign up with this guy, because now you're showing credibility by showcasing an actual local business that is in the same area that these people are watching it. So they're going to be like, oh, I know this business. They're with John. Oh my gosh, amazing. I'm going to sign up with this person. I'm going to contact them. So now you're going to turn a testimonial into your promoter. So it's going to become a promoter for you. That merchant that you signed up, you delighted, you gave them a great experience. They're going to be a promoter for you, because that video people are going to watch. And what you're going to do is maybe run a $5 to $10 local ad within a 5 to 10 mile radius. And people in that vicinity will see those ads and they will recognize it. They will recognize the business that you're talking to, probably. And if they don't, you're at least talking about the cross streets. So there's some way, somehow going to relate to that. You're also helping the local business because you're kind of indirectly advertising for them. So that's how you're gonna win with social media. You're posting, make sure it's consistent, make sure you're giving, posting value, make sure you're posting your stories, your results, and your client testimonials. Take those testimonials, the ones that are viewed the most and organically, and then put them, throw in some like it doesn't have to be expensive, 5, 10, and as you see that working, you can, dial that up and spend $100, $200 a week on local ads, because that's how it would work. And you'll become like a local celebrity known to be the expert in payment processing. All right, so that was week 5 to 8. Again, building authority. That was your goal for week 5 to 8, and go all in on that. Go on all in on that. Now we get to week 9 to 12, okay? We're kind of getting at the end here, at your 90-day challenge almost, if you will. Now what you're doing is you've done all of the things you needed to do. Now you're gonna scale up, kind of like almost like taking it to the next level, right? And what do you do then? Remember in the beginning, I talked about partnerships, referral partners, and so on and so forth. Well, guess what? That is an incredible area to go into. And you can do the same thing here. So you'll go to the partners, you'll talk to them. Again, try to go after partners that are within your network. Or it could even be the people that you already are servicing. So you've given the merchants great experiences. Maybe you can go back to them and say, hey, who's your CPA? Maybe, or who's your web developer? Anyone, or a consultant, for example, or who's your marketer? Because all of those type of businesses have a book of business. So now you have a credibility with the merchant that uses that company, and they can introduce you, because they're gonna be like, hey, I had an amazing experience with John. You need to call him. Right? You need to contact him, or he might just say, here's the number, contact this bookkeeper or CPA or whatever. So now let's call this a CPA. He gives you a number to his CPA. You're calling his CPA, and guess what? It's a warm lead. You're talking to them. It's no cold call. You're saying, so-and-so is processing with me. They recommended me reaching out. I'm looking for, be very genuine and very honest. I'm looking for partners. And every time you submit a deal for me, if you refer a business, and that's all you have to do, just refer them, I will give you a kickback. I'll give you residuals, or I'll give you commissions, or however you want to structure it. I highly advise for you to do residuals, because people love passive income, and that's how you do it. So now you're doing the same thing. Now, if you help that person, you can potentially just go back and do either the social media thing. You can pretty much copy paste the same concept you did for a merchant, but do it for partners. And now again, partners are going to see that, CPAs are going to see that, and they're going to be able to like, oh wow, I recognize this, CPA firm. They're with them processing. I'm leaving money on the table. I'm not even doing this with anybody. Why the hell not? So that's how that happens. And now you're scaling your business so well, because now you're building a well-oiled machine, and you're technically having these referral partners. For example, imagine having 10 or even 5 referral partners. If you have 5 referral partners, and each of those 5 send you on average, let's say, 3 to 5 accounts. That's anywhere from 15 to 25 accounts a month extra on top of everything else that you're doing. And these, you didn't have to do anything beside building that relationship with these partners. So now you're getting referrals, and you're gonna go out and again give great experiences, and then you're rinsing and repeating. All right, I'm gonna give you some common mistakes that you need to avoid, when you're doing this, okay? Number 1 is trying to learn everything before starting. Don't do that. I said that in the beginning. Do not do that, because that will keep you from actually starting, okay? Do not overcomplicate tech. Remember what I said in the beginning. Google Sheets, just put on all your contacts in there, have some notes. When I started off, I used Google Calendar to put appointments to go back, to remind me. Don't overcomplicate. You don't need fancy CRMs, fancy tech. You don't need it. You can do it without it, because you'll get too caught up in, having it done the techie way and getting all the stuff the right way, instead of actually focusing on what matters, which is building and scaling your business, okay? Another mistake that a lot of people make is not following up. Don't make that mistake. Sale is in the follow-up game, okay? Think about this. The merchant that you're trying to sell to or the partner, you're not the person they wake up and think about in the morning. You're not. You're just not. So you following up, not annoyingly. Obviously, there are tactics on how much and when you should follow up, but be genuine. Just remember to follow up. That's all. Because people just move on with life. Life gets in the way and they forget about you. Have a good follow-up game. And the last one is waiting for perfection instead of taking action. Big mistake. I've done it many times where I'm like, I gotta get this right. I gotta have this perfect, this thing sitting here, and then I'm ready to go. Guess what? What you think is perfect isn't reality. Who the hell are you? Who the hell am I for thinking this is how it's supposed to be done? You don't know how it's supposed to be done. Just go out there, experience, and you will learn as you go. So kind of like, you want to go out there and ride the bike, fall, figure out. You can't be like, if I rode the bike this way instead of that way, instead of perfect, no such thing. You're gonna get on the bike and you're gonna fall either way. So just get to it, take action, and that way you're gonna learn from your experience, and that's where your wisdom is gonna come in and be able to kind of push you and get you to the next step. That's a wrap for today's episode of Profit from Payments. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you found this valuable. If you're ready to take the next step, I've got something for you. Click the link in the description to join my free community. Get exclusive resources to help you build passive income through payment processing, faster and smarter. If this episode helped you, hit the subscribe button, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, keep taking action, keep learning. Remember, you're closer than you think.